Welcome back, travelers, to your Referral Roadmap. This podcast is dedicated to helping you unleash your personal and business revenue potential by cultivating referral relationships. In this 10-part series, we are diving into the value factor, how helping others fuels business growth. We'll be exploring how adding value in business can be a key driver of success, offering insights and strategies to master this essential skill to build your own referral-based business. So today we are talking about feedback as a form of value. And what that really means is, feedback as a form of value is the process of providing constructive, thoughtful insights that help others improve, grow, and achieve better outcomes. It involves sharing observations, guidance, and encouragement with the goal of supporting development, strengthening relationships, and fostering a culture of continuous improvement. Man, what a mouthful, Athena.
Made it hard on you.
No, that's okay. Awesome. Well, Athena, I know you normally have a story for us, so bring it on home.
After that, tongue tie, you guys. Okay, but the key things right there, right, are guidance, encouragement, support, development, strengthening. Those are the key words. I know there's a lot of them, but those are the key words. But so today we're talking about feedback and how getting good feedback for our businesses help us thrive, build better relationships with our referral partners, and actually make changes within our organization or our businesses to actually help the customer experience too. So I wanted to highlight somebody that we have already interviewed on our podcast, and that's Heidi Rose. And I want to talk, I'm going to do two stories today. And one is Heidi Rose in the home building business. When we first decided that we were going to be a home builder that really wanted to focus, Jada, on relationships with real estate agents, we're not real estate agents, right? And history says that the real estate agents and builders have not always the best relationship. But we knew in our heart, we were like, these people are valuable. They're valuable to our clients. And how do we build a business that lets them know that we value them? And so this is where I got the feedback. I sat down with Heidi when we first started creating our business model, and I asked her, what does a builder have to do in order to make sure that we have a good relationship with you? And she gave me that feedback. That feedback now is part of the DNA of our business. So this is the thing. If you're out there, and I know you're on your treadmill, you're in your car right now. So this is why you want to save this so you can go back and write some notes. We're going to have some good stuff today. But if you're out there right now and you're like, how do I even get started in this business? Or how do I take my business to the next level? You guys, getting feedback from the people that you want to serve, right? I think so often we sit around, Jada, in these think things and think, what would they like? I think I know what they would like. No, that's arrogant thinking, right? Let's ask them, right? I mean, I don't know why we think we can't ask them, but hello, let's ask them, right? So that's one story. But I want to take the Heidi story one step further. So we have, we built our business and we were going down the line, doing pretty well. And we hit some hiccups, like all businesses. If you own a business, if you haven't hit the hiccups, brace yourself. You will.
They're coming.
Right? And they're wonderful, right? We learn from them, we grow. So as we hit those hiccups, once again, I was able to sit down with Heidi, somebody I highly respect. And she has our heart and the heart for the client. And I asked her, what are we doing wrong? Be honest with me, cut to the chase. What are we doing wrong? And she was like, boom, 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 right? And so she was on it and gave us tips and tricks and things that we needed to do in order to be better. So not only for our real estate referral partners, but for our client, the client experience. So again, again, that's just so valuable. So ask your referral partners, get the feedback from them so that you can learn. The other thing is, so that's you getting feedback, but you can give feedback to other people. So we're talking about adding value, right? So to give other people feedback in a non-arrogant, prideful way, but in a helpful, constructive, kind way could absolutely help their business. I mean, I want you to think about this. This is a story, Jada, you've never heard.
Ooh, I'm intrigued. Do tell.
Okay. So I used to, a long time ago, before I had my now almost 20-year-old daughter, lived in Eugene, Oregon. And I had this one restaurant on this very busy street. I cannot remember the name of it. It was Noodle something, but um, I loved this restaurant. And they had this one meal that I absolutely loved. They were known for their service, known for great food. They were just, it was fabulous. And it was fabulous and fabulous and fabulous until about 3 times in a row I went and it was not fabulous and it was not good. And the things that made it fabulous were degrading. And I was so heartbroken because I didn't want to see. I knew in that town how competitive this market was. And I'm a businesswoman, so I was like, oh, and I'm selfish. I didn't want the food to go away. So I literally called up the restaurant and I said, I need to speak to the manager. And of course they were afraid. And I said, look, it's not ugly. I just need to talk to the manager. I really care about your business. I got the manager on the phone and I said, I just want to tell you how much I love your restaurant, etc. And I said, but these are 3 things that you guys used to nail and they're degrading quickly. And I don't want you to go out of business. I don't want your reputation to change. I have heard from a number of other people to not go to you. I don't want that to happen to you. We ended up having a 45-minute conversation. And he so appreciated this feedback. He then called me a couple months later and said, hey, come back. Tell me if we're hitting it. And they were nailing it. So, yes.
I love
So
that.
this is me saving my favorite restaurant so that I can still eat there. But think about, I mean, I didn't even know them, but think about the people you do know. Think about the businesses you do know, your referral partner businesses, your the businesses that you work with to help your clients. Think about them and think about ways that you can give them constructive, honest, kind feedback in order to help them grow. So, Jada, those are my wonderful, fun stories, how we use feedback. But I know we got some facts and figures, and everybody wants those. So, it's not just all words. So, tell us some facts and figures today.
Yes, well, thank you for sharing those stories. First off, I had not heard that second story, so that was an awesome one for me to even hear.
You're not surprised that I called the manager up and told him to fix it, are you, at all?
I'm not surprised at all, not in the slightest, but that was a good story. Okay, so I have 3 facts and figures for us today. And the first one I especially like because I am a person who loves words of affirmation. And so finding this statistic was just kind of nailing the point home for myself. But I really liked it. So, wanted to share it is neuroscientific studies show that receiving positive feedback stimulates dopamine production in the brain, which leads to feelings of pleasure, motivation, and satisfaction. And according to that research published in Frontiers in Psychology, this chemical response makes people more likely to repeat that praised behavior. So I like that, especially just because I am, words of affirmation person. I appreciate being appreciated. Athena, I'm
Yes.
sure you know that.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't,
Who
honestly,
doesn't?
though? And the second one was a study by Harvard Business Review that found 72% of employees who receive meaningful feedback from their managers report higher levels of trust and a stronger commitment to their teams. Constructive feedback creates open lines of communication, promoting transparency and trust. So I liked that.
72%, that's high.
That
So
is very high.
if you manage anyone, I know, Jada, you manage people. Think about that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm all right.
No, I love that.
That's something to ponder right there.
That
That's
is something to
huge.
ponder. I love it. All right, one more, and it is from a University of Toronto study. They found that individuals who receive regular feedback are 43% more likely to achieve their goals than those who don't. Feedback helps people stay on track, refine their approach, and overcome obstacles, leading to greater success in reaching targets. So, Athena, I think that just speaks directly to the story you told us.
Feedback, that's what we need. We need a good feedback loop. And
Yes,
feedback, again, I want to say again, it has to come from the right heart, right? I
absolutely.
mean, I think back to Heidi. Like, Heidi's always trying to help the client and us. She always is. She's never doing it for arrogant, I want to feel important reasons. That's never been her motive, ever. So that's something to think about. Is that hard? Like, what are you doing it for? Are you doing it because you want to look cool and be smart? Or are you actually trying to make a difference? That changes things. That it also changes how people receive your feedback. FYI.
Absolutely.
All right. All right. So you guys, the rubber's hitting the road here. How do we really do this, right? Jada and I want to make sure that you have practical ways to apply this theology. So here we go. This is why you're going to want to record this, because you're going to need a pen and paper to be able to take these notes. Jada, someday in the future, we're going to have to create booklets where people can purchase, and so they could write our notes for this podcast.
Yes, I love that idea.
A journal just for this podcast to help them out. Anyway,
I love it.
Put that on your ever huge things to do.
Put it in the vault.
Exactly. All right. So rubber meets the road. How do we do this? First of all, schedule regular check-ins with your referral partners. Listen to this. Schedule regular check-ins with your referral partner. So how does this look? Let's look at action. Set up a periodic feedback session with your referral partner and use these meetings to discuss areas they need improvement on or areas they're proud of. Check in with them. Ask them, hey, what can I do to look into your business and help you? Think about that. So here's the thing that I've got to say about this, Jada, too. And I would be remiss if I don't say this. I get to do a lot of training where I'm in front of big groups of people. And I am shocked by how many professional people in sales and marketing, people who are entrepreneurial or people who own businesses, that if I ask them, Jada, to give me a list of all their referral partners, I get deer in headlights. So as we are talking here, we have talked in depth about this in another podcast, but please make a list of your referral partners. You need to know who they are in order for you to honor them. So in order for you to do these check-ins and give them good feedback that will help them grow, you need to have a list of them and you need to be nurturing them, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So think about that and do that. So schedule times, get together with them and find out exactly what's going on and how you can give them some feedback. Here's another one. Offer feedback that's specific and actionable. Now, this took me a minute to figure out. So, for example, if I was meeting with, I'm going to use a friend of mine. He owns a website company and social media marketing. And he and I recently, I've got a client that's one of my consulting clients working with him, and I've talked to him about some work for us. And I had onboarded a different marketing company for the home building business, right, Jada? And they are stellar, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll just call them out.
They're awesome.
They are awesome, right? So it's SmartBug out there. They're not inexpensive, but they're amazing. And they had some best practices that I was like, wow. I mean, they inspired me, some of their practices. And so when I was talking to my friend who's much smaller than SmartBug, I gave him that feedback as I watched him onboard my client. I said, hey, let me tell you some of the things that happened in my onboarding with this really big international company that you could take to help your experience be good or better. And because it was good, but better. So again, that was very specific. I gave him very specific things about that. It was like, do a PowerPoint, take them through the agenda, show them, and I was very specific about it. And that's what we're talking about. So when you're giving feedback to somebody, don't say things like, give it more energy. What's that mean? Right? I mean, we have to be more specific. Give them ways that they can actually adapt and change. So one of the things that you can give some feedback is emphasizing a customer success story really makes an impact, right? That's something that you can say. I just said that in a training this morning. I was just telling a group of agents, let's stop marketing like everybody else. Let's start telling customer stories to show your value. See how that's different? So want to think about that. And if you're an agent, listen to that because you need to do that. All right. Third, ask for feedback on your own businesses. So you're dealing with your referral partners, you're sitting down with them or other people in your industry. be the person humble enough, right, Jada, to ask, how can we do it better? And ask for things that we, hey, where's a blind spot that we're so in the business we don't even see? So sit down with them and consistently ask them what their thoughts and feedback are. I do this a lot with who's been on this podcast too, is John Mayhew. He's a business thinker. He loves to mastermind and be collective in thinking. And so he often, I'll throw him some ideas that I'm thinking about doing, and he will give me that feedback. So encouraging that deepens the relationship when they know not only are you going to be asking them about their business, but you're going to want their feedback about your own. Just think about how much you can grow, and it deepens the relationship, and then results in, what does it do? We talk about it all the time, right? So relationships equal what? Referrals, which equal revenue. That's what we're talking about. Hello, right? So this is what we're talking, how to do it. All right. So another way we can do this is create feedback loops with your clients. All right. So creating, and I know, Jada, this is something that you have had on your shelf and waiting, and that you're going to be implementing far more in 2025 for both of our businesses. But getting these surveys, getting the feedback from your clients in order to better their experience and learn from them and let them know that, hey, your feedback is important. They just went through a process with you. Ask them how it went. I'll tell you, there's a couple of organizations that I have to deal with in my life. I wish they'd asked for my feedback, not so I can be sassy, but so that I could help them develop. And can I just say this about this too? I don't know what the statistics are. That's Jada's jam, but but the statistics have to be pretty high about the amount of people willing to leave negative feedback.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Unprompted negative feedback.
Yes. However, we listeners, tribe, can we start a movement of being positive feedbackers? If that can be a word, that's Athena Bonics. Positive feedback. We need to make sure that we are out there making a difference. Yes, we need to collect the information from our clients, but let's also go forward and be people who give good, positive feedback when we see it, and be looking for it, right? Be looking for it. All right. And then show appreciation. So if you do get positive feedback, show appreciation. Give them a call, thank them, and tell them how much you appreciate them, and appreciate their effort that they took the time to do that. So think about that. Are you doing that? And that's something, Jada, when we were creating this podcast, I thought, now I'm sure Jada's got that covered, because that's kind of Jada's thing too. She's the person who makes sure that people feel valued in our organization. So that is something that we need to think about. I think we could be doing a better job in the consulting realm. There's something I need to be working on. So be more positive with your feedback, and the people who are giving you positive feedback, show them appreciation. So make sure that you're doing that. The other ones, and I'm talking to myself there, and create a culture of feedback in your business, which means that everybody's willing to tell you what needs to be worked on. Man, you guys, we implemented in the home building world a system called EOS. I think we've talked about it before, but it's called Entrepreneurial Operating System. If you're interested in it, I've got a phenomenal coach, so we can tell you about it. But what it has done for us is made it to where our entire organization, everybody on the team, has had to come together and really evaluate all practices, huh, Jada? I mean, it's a little daunting. I'm not going to lie, but we had to reevaluate everything we're doing in order to ensure that we change what's stagnant. We fix it's not going well. We know what is the best practices, and we develop more excellent practices. And that was creating a feedback within the organization. And I believe, Jada, you can tell me if you think I'm wrong, but cultivating this new culture in our business, I think going forward, if somebody has an idea or wants to give some feedback, I think we've created that by this exercise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it gives, I would say, our team the platform to have those thoughts, have those ideas, share that feedback, because it's part of the process within a meeting, without getting too into the weeds, it creates a platform for us to feel comfortable to share our thoughts and feedback.
Which is great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and by the way, I'm a leader in both of my organizations. And my partner will tell you anytime he and I go to a meeting and we shut up and let the team tell us the best practices, it always comes out better. Just FYI, we're usually wrong. So if you're a leader and you go in there and you think you have all the answers, be quiet, let them, and your team probably will surprise you. Just FYI. Awesome. All right. So the last thing here is use feedback to identify and share best practices. Hello. Right? If you have learned something in your business that has worked really well, share it. Don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Now, you could be saying, "Well, Athena, I don't want to share with like industry people." Okay. I don't like that. I'm like, I'll share whatever, because if I beat you, I just want to know I beat you. I want an even playing field. But share best practices with your referral partners, with the other businesses that you have relationships with. Let them know exactly ways they can perform better or be better. And I think that if we take all of this together, it's summed up like this. What are you doing to help ensure that the people who are referring you, which are your sales force outside of your business, what are you doing to make sure they are thriving? Are you helping them? Are you spending time with them, giving them feedback? What are you doing to help make sure they're thriving? And if you're not, take one of these and start there. No shame if you're starting from scratch, but start. All right, Jada, what's next?
Awesome. Well, what is next? You all can join us on our Success Revolution. It is our weekly blog fueled by relationships, referral, and revenue, where you will get those weekly growth strategies to take control of your sales, revenue, and achieve your full potential straight to your inbox. The link to subscribe to that will be in the show notes below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this podcast so you can join us next week for our last episode. Can you believe it, Athena?
No.
Our last episode of the season as Athena brings some real talk and real strategies. We'll see you next week. Bye.
You guys,